सभी को बहुत बहुत नमस्कार। मैं अमित भाटिया अपनी टीम न्यूज़ आवर की तरफ से आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। और हमारे साथ संदीप जी भी जुड़े हैं और विवेक जी जुड़ रहे हैं और हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर MR वेंकटेश। ही इज एन एक्सपर्ट ऑन दिस सब्जेक्ट। आई थिंक we all know him and the value he adds to the information that needs to be there. हेलो सर, हाउ आर यू?
नमस्ते, आप कैसे हैं?
बहुत बढ़िया सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
जी सर, तो आई थिंक आज का जो हमारा मेन टॉपिक रहेगा दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द जियोपॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन एंड द लॉट ऑफ इट रिलेटेड टू द इकोनॉमिक साइड ऑफ द जियोपॉलिटिक्स, इफ वी कैन से सो। काफी कुछ चल रहा है, स्पेशली आई मीन वी हैड दिस कोविड पीरियड एंड आफ्टर दैट we have some new things coming up with respect to Ukraine, and a lot of unexpected things have happened. Sir, what is your view? How is the global economy going on, and where is it going? If we can look into it from initially from global perspective, and then we will come to the Indian perspective.
See, globally the economics is in a very bad shape. From 2010 to 2020, for every $1 rise in the GDP of the world, I think $5 to $6 of debt were contracted. So, if you want to earn $1 more at a global level, you have to actually borrow $6 more. This is the truth of the world. So, world economics is in a tailspin. It's in a very big problem for the world. But more importantly, after 2008 global financial crisis, they sorted out the solvency crisis of the world by liquidity, by putting in lot amount of liquidity. Now the tapering is happening. America is raising interest rates, and if it doesn't raise interest rates, the dollar will collapse. And if it raises the interest rate, the economy will collapse. So it is in a very pincer-like moment for them. Of course, they have survived it for several times, and people like me have been predicting the collapse of the dollar. But today, with Russia attacking Ukraine for the purpose of dollar and to finish off the dollar, so it is world economy may be in a very, very tough position for the next 5 to 8 years minimum.
Right, sir. So, I mean, what we are seeing here is kind of even a new reset. It looks like the situation from USD perspective, because I mean, it was all dependent upon USD. It had a big stake. तो उसमें अब आगे आप जाते हुए कैसे देखते हैं सर? And with respect to the Russia's game with the ruble and how it is trying to push the ruble through fuel, as we can say. So इसका अगर आप लिंक बता सकें, I think that will be really good input.
See, the American dollar is the only currency in the world which is backed by the American army. अगर आप आर्मी को हटा दो तो डॉलर में कुछ भाव नहीं रहा. It's a very peculiar currency. It is not backed by gold. It is not backed by anything else. It is backed by the army and the strength of the army. Now, what Russia is doing by attacking Ukraine, it is telling America that you can't do much about it. You have a limit to your power. आपके पास 1500 न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब है, लेकिन सब तो आप फोड़ नहीं सकते हैं, आप यूज ही नहीं कर सकते हैं. ताकत है आपके पास, लेकिन ताकत का प्रयोग नहीं हो सकता है. तो इस द्वंद में आकर अमेरिका फंस गई है. इसको रूस सही तरह से पहचान रहा है, और रूस जिस तरह से हमला कर रहा है यूक्रेन पर नहीं बल्कि डॉलर पर हमला कर रहा है. सो दिस इज एन अटैक ऑन डॉलर. अमेरिका डजंट नो हाउ टू रिस्पॉन्ड. दैट इज व्हेयर रशिया स्टार्टेड सेलिंग गोल्ड एट 500 rubles per gram of 24 carat 99.5% purity gold. So it is saying any amount of gold you can purchase from me by taking ruble. Dollar, it started trading oil in ruble. America has cut off Russia using all the known methodologies of sanction. बट रशिया ने एक अलग सा अपना एक सिस्टम खोल दिया है. अभी एक पैरेलल स्विफ्ट आ जाएगा. पैरेलल स्विफ्ट आ जाएगा. रूबल ट्रेड आ रहा है अभी. रूबल इंडिया हैज एक्सेप्टेड टू पे इन रूबल्स फॉर रशियन ऑयल. So यानी कि they will not need dollar, we will go and buy rubles. And how do we buy ruble? We will sell something to Russia and buy that ruble. And using that ruble, we will purchase oil. So this is how it's going to happen. So हम रशिया को हम माल बेचेंगे, सॉफ्टवेयर बेचेंगे. शायद अगले साल आपका प्रोग्राम हम लोग रशियन में करेंगे. सब रशियन सीख जाएंगे. So अंग्रेजी का मोह खत्म हो जाएगा. रशियन सीखेंगे. बैंगलोर में रशियन में सॉफ्टवेयर लिखेंगे. सब कुछ हो जाएगा. तो क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
So MRV sir, a very important question at this juncture is that since वहाँ से ज़्यादातर जो फार्मा कंपनीज जो कि जनरली यूएस बैक थी जो मूव आउट हो गई है, तो ये अपॉर्चुनिटी हमारे फार्मा सेक्टर के लिए कितनी बड़ी है? और अब जब हम बात चल रही है कि SPFS जो उनका स्विफ्ट का ऑल्टरनेटिव है, उस पे हम कनेक्ट करने वाले अपने बैंक्स को to enable that oil trade, which is coming at a huge discount for sure. So there is definitive opportunity. How do you see that expanding? Because biotechnology के मामले में या in terms of pharmaceutical especially, जितना Indian companies के पास अपने खुद के भी patents हैं and they're also licensed to manufacture a lot of drugs that other companies have patent on. How do you see this situation?
पेटेंट गई तेल लेने. पेटेंट रेजिम कोलैप्स हो गया सर. पेटेंट रेजिम कोलैप्स हो गया. ये अगर आप सिर्फ अमेरिका की दादागिरी पर पेटेंट चल रही थी. अभी रशियन का ऑयल आया तो उसी ऑयल से हम तेल लेने चलेंगे. Why should we follow if America, Russia is giving you rubles for producing an medicine? I don't think so. America can do much about it. If say Australia or India or Pakistan or any other.
Listen, my question was not around America be able to do that. My question was more about the opportunity that lies.
Opportunity है, sir. If you break it, if you break the glass ceiling, आपको है. Are you prepared to break it? As a nation, we are rule followers. हमको अच्छा लगता है कायदा कानून. वो जो Indian mentality is to follow international laws, and we are so adapted it that we only want to follow international laws. Now here is an opportunity for you twofold. One is the old world order is getting reset. That means Russia, China is going to take a huge step forward in creating a new world order. You can participate in that and start creating a new world order, which means you have to jettison the old order. You cannot be saying I will be dining with America in the morning and having chai with Russia in the evening. That cannot happen. Opportunity है तो एक जगह मिलेगी. रशिया में मिलेगी या अमेरिका में मिलेगी, चाइना में मिलेगी या यूरोप में मिलेगी. आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कि कहां आपका भला होगी. तो इसका अभी तक देश में कोई बिजनेसमैन कोई ऐसा नहीं सोचा है कि सारा दुनिया का बंटवारा हो चुका है. ग्लोबलाइजेशन के नाम पे हमने बोला कि सारा दुनिया जगत एक हो गया है. अभी बंटवारा हो गया, उसके अंदर दीवार खड़ी गई. सो इधर यू आर विथ अमेरिका अगेंस्ट अमेरिका, विथ रशिया एंड चाइना अगेंस्ट रशिया एंड चाइना. सोच लीजिए आप क्या करना चाहते हैं. सो उसके हिसाब से आपको वेदर इट इज सॉफ्टवेयर, वेदर इट इज फार्मास्यूटिकल, वेदर इट इज आर्मी आर्मामेंट्स, whichever you want. You can textiles, जूता, जो कुछ भी बनाना बना लीजिए, उसी के हिसाब से चलेगा. You cannot be riding two boats for long. You cannot please Russia, you cannot please America for long.
Okay. The other
Okay.
question I have is, uh, I was so there's this article, and not just the article, but there's a uh, uh, so what has happened is one of the biggest chemical firms, BASF, their Ludwigshafen plant. For that, the MD has already said that, if we, because Europeans are heavily dependent on the gas that comes from Russia, and 40% of the gas comes from there. And when it comes to Germany, their dependence is more than 50%. Now, they're saying that they'll have to close down the plant, which means not just that 40,000 people who are working there, and it is one of those biggest chemical factories in the world, supplying 35% of um, aspirin to the world. And with what is happening in Sri Lanka, there are many medicines that have gone out of stock. A similar situation is happening here in Europe too. As I just learned today that um, something as basic as chili sauce, is not available in UK anymore. At least not in the town that I stay in, right? So so
You don't have Indian
so
food
the
there
world is
much.
looming at food supply shortage. What are your views on that?
Yeah, there is going to be supply side constraints world over on chips, on variety of things. Sauce and oil is definitely one of them. Oil medicine will be definitely one. There will be several critical issues, and America doesn't understand, or probably is also fearing that अगर चाइना ने उसको माल बेचना बंद कर दिया तो क्या होगा. Already we are facing a huge chip shortage, and China, if it stops supplying to America, the American inflation will shoot up. We don't know where, and how will they control the inflation. So today, what we are seeing with the rise of natural products, natural commodities world over, it is not only gold or oil that has gone up. Every damn thing has gone up. That means vis-a-vis the dollar, all these commodities have gone up, which means dollar has fallen. It is a no confidence against the dollar, which has allowed these commodities to go up. So, result of it will be an inflation in America. And also, we have to understand we will also face supply side shortages. We may be a huge country, we have a huge base, but I say that if Prime Minister has to take a leap forward, it is an extraordinary opportunity for us to implement Atmanirbhar. 1998, when the world came out with sanctions on us after the Pokhran nuclear blast, we developed our own indigenous technology. We developed cryogenic engines. We developed our own space technologies. And today we can send Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan very easily. And that is what is the seizing of the moment. This moment will come once in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. And this is why I say this is the right time for India to actually look at Atmanirbhar far more seriously. Believe me or not, 2021 and rather 21-22, when our armed forces were eye to eye with Galwan and others in Ladakh with the Chinese, our trade with China was $125 billion total, of which it was $100 billion imports and $25 billion of exports to China. $75 billion of trade deficit with China. China के साथ just one country we had $75 billion, which is around 2.5% of our GDP. This is the amount of imports that we can stop from China alone, and that will give you a humongous. That will be the answer to your shortages. Okay, Sri Lanka cannot manufacture aspirin. Sri Lanka cannot get oil. Sri Lanka has to depend on others for so many other things. But India cannot be doing that. So this is an opportunity, but this is also a huge threat also for India.
Okay, so what are the opportunities that lie ahead for, especially for the agriculture or agri-tech business, in terms of this short supplied world market, because in some of these commodities we are either the largest producers or top five producers in the world. For example, wheat, we are the second largest producers in the wheat. So someone will take that opportunity. Either we take it or someone else takes it, right? Where do you see us? Because we've seen days when food grains have rotten in the warehouses, in the silos. What are your views on that?
See, India cannot import or export less than 5 million tons of any food grains. Our food grain production is 310 million tons. If you are going to export 1%, it is 3.5 million tons minimum. And if you export 3 million tons of wheat or rice, whether they are in good quality, bad quality, वो सब अभी उसके बाद आते हैं. It will shake the world market. If you are going to buy, India will not buy less than 5 or 10 million tons of food grain. India cannot export less than 5 million in the sense to make any impact. यहाँ वहाँ छोटे मोटे इसमें अभी भी हो रहे हैं. But when I say if India as a country looks at agri exports as a whole, it will not be less than 5 million tons of wheat or rice. So the point I'm emphasizing is agri may we have got a huge role. But where will we export? Are we going to export to China, Japan, Far East, Latin America, Europe, or America? Which we don't know. We don't know which side of the divide we have to be. The political equation has not yet been settled. Then only the trade equation will be settled. The political equation is still in a fuzzy position. We don't know whether we will swing towards America. America wants us. In fact, I saw a map today. Which are the countries which have sent its leaders in the last 15 days to India? Canada, America, you had people from Europe, you had people from China, Japan. Every single person is coming to India in the last 15-20 days. Why? They want to woo us to be on their side. We had the Chinese finance minister coming here suddenly. When we are in a difficult position with China, the Chinese finance minister comes in here. Russian minister comes in. मैंने दुनिया का सारा नेता को अभी लग रहा है कि इंडिया को वू करना है. India looks to be like a bride waiting to get married. So every single suitor wants to woo India. Now why? Because India will probably tilt the balance. If India tilts itself towards the west, then probably China and Russia on one side, India and America on the other side, it will have a equilibrium. But if India decisively shifts to this block, then America will find it difficult because Europe का कुछ नहीं रहा. Europe is just in ruins. It is probably a good tourist place. You can go enjoy your holidays in the summer and come back. Europe में कुछ नहीं रहा. Europe is all over, dead and gone. So who is going to be the next potential ally? And that is why you should see America has even ditched Imran Khan. Imran Khan was forced to go to Russia and meet the Russian leaders. And I think he did it under Chinese bidding. But Biden did not like it. And Biden has said Imran Khan's days are over and they have removed him virtually. And it fell from Imran's mouth that, look, these guys are doing this to me. So one way or the other, Pakistan is probably moving towards Russia and China. It may be a surprise to us, but the state which has been propped up by CIA, namely Pakistan, is now gravitating towards China and Russia. We thought it will never happen, but it is happening. But it also tells you how bad is American intelligence. It is a telling story or an example as to how bad is American intelligence. So coming back to us, I think we are going to be tilting the scale one way or the other decisively. And I hope our leadership will take a very considered view. And when they take it, we will go by it.
Vivek ji. विवेक जी आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, आई थिंक
You are in mute.
या जस्ट चेक इफ यू आर म्यूट।
No.
आप शायद म्यूट पे हैं विवेक जी।
You're still on mute.
ओके, वी आर अनेबल टू हियर यू विवेक जी। आप एक बार दोबारा ज्वाइन करिए। जी, एक बार दोबारा ज्वाइन करिए। मीनवाइल आई थिंक सर, आई मीन आगे चल के किस तरह से इंडिया की इकोनॉमी को देखना चाहिए। आई मीन वी आर येट टू डिसाइड के विच साइड वी विल बी ऑन, बट आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं ये भी है कि वी विल do what's best for us. I think we have got the top negotiator in the world right now, so that will be taken care. But I mean, the European model that has been taken, or Western modern model of kind of a welfare state, is that sustainable in India going forward? How do you see that working out and incoming scenario?
Amit ji, I have written elaborately in my book, Retaining Balance, about this issue about a socialist and a welfare state. I am very convinced there is no, you can be a state which wants the welfare of its people, which is different from a welfare state. And this socialist सिद्धांत जिसको हमने अडॉप्ट किया था 1950s में, देश की बर्बादी के लिए ये एक निश्चित रहा है. And Europe is in shambles because of its socialist policies. Europe is in shambles because of the enormous amount of state largesses that are being funded through taxes. And taxation is so high that private enterprise does not flourish in Europe. It is virtually, I think Sandip ji can bear me out, whether it is 4 days a week now, mostly in most of the states in countries in Europe. It is impossible to make people work between 9 to 6. And there are countries like France, I am told, that you can't send even emails after 6 o'clock to your colleague. That is barred by law. Okay, and it's a strict no. You cannot give them any tension. So एम्प्लॉइज को कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं, एम्प्लॉइज काम नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन एम्प्लॉइज को आपको खिलाना पड़ेगा, सैलरी देना पड़ेगा. So this doesn't work. In the sense, there is no free lunch in economics. So somebody has to pay, and they have borrowed, they have done everything, and now they are unable to even pay the interest. So this whole idea about pigs, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, then Greece, all these countries are wallowing in their own debt, and this is the lesson for India. Civilizationally, we are a country which believes in duties. Civilizationally, we don't believe in rights. In fact, in 1947 or 46, Mahatma Gandhi writes a letter to Huxley, one of those who created the UNHRC. He says there is no human rights. There is only human duties in our civilization, and we will do our duty. And if you do our duty, and this is based on the most important shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyavadhikarasya, we civilizationally believe in duties. This fascination with rights, and that the state will always be an omnipotent, omnipresent state that will come and sing lullaby for you in the night, खाना खिलाएगी, रोटी देगी, पानी पिलाएगी. मैंने ऐसी सरकार की हमने जो कल्पना की है वो एक कार्टून कैरेक्टर जैसा है. इट कैनॉट हैपन इन प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ. The earlier our leadership realizes socialism has to be buried fathoms deep, and I am very glad Prime Minister now says this slogan, Sabka Prayas. First it was Sabka Vishwas, then it has now become Sabka Prayas. सरकार जो है सबका प्रयास से राज्य को बनाने में एक संकल्प लेती है, वही सचमुच एक अद्भुत राष्ट्र का निर्माण कर सकती है. और जब सरकार ये बोलती है कि मैं राष्ट्र का निर्माण कर सकता हूं, कहीं भी इतिहास में आज किसी भी राष्ट्र को देखिए, किसी भी सरकार ने राष्ट्र का निर्माण नहीं किया. लोगों से ही राष्ट्र का निर्माण होता है. Citizens make the nation. It is not otherwise. States don't make the nation. State can be powerful. It can give you army. It can give you laws. It can give you facility, infrastructure. It can create a business environment. It can punish wrongdoers. It can give currency. It can deal with foreign exchange. But it cannot create a राष्ट्र. राष्ट्र निर्माण वहां के नागरिकों से ही होता है, और उस नागरिक जो अपना कर्तव्य पे तुले हुए हैं वही नागरिक राष्ट्र का निर्माण करते हैं. जो अपना मूलाधिकार की बात करते हैं उससे नहीं होता है. जब तक हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पार्ट 3 का जो एक चैलेंज है हमारे सामने, उसको हम थोड़ा हस्तक्षेप करना है और उसमें संशोधन लाना है, और उसमें हमको पार्ट 3 में फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज को भी हमको एक महत्वपूर्ण रूप से देखना पड़ेगा, और उसको भी अगर हम इसमें लाए, if we are able to balance fundamental rights with fundamental duties, I think we will have a far better constitution than what we are having
now. Sir, this side Vivek, and
Hi.
hi sir. As far as concerned, that there are two things which you have mentioned, like one is China and Russia side and US side. There are two things like
That's emerging. That's still not yet emerged. It is emerging.
हाँ. तो what is the benefit for India कि कहाँ जाने लायक रहेगा हमारे लिए, और कहाँ जैसे इकोनॉमिकली के लिए, पॉलिटिकली, ज्योग्राफिकली, everything is attached. So for India, what is the benefit? Like where we should go?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
See, it's going to be very tough for India. For India, our economic interests are with West, but our military, political interests are with Russia.
Correct.
So it's a very complex situation for India. Okay, India technology, language, software, ये सब अमेरिका के साथ और या वेस्ट के साथ बहुत क्लोजर है. डेमोक्रेसी है, उनकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, लॉ है. के भाषा हम जो बोलते हैं, शायद आप और मैं अलग अलग प्रदेश के हैं, लेकिन हम दोनों अगर अच्छी तरीके से बात करना चाहते हैं तो अंग्रेजी में बात कर लेते हैं.
Correct.
This we don't speak in Russian, we don't speak in Chinese. So there is going to be a problem for us, and so the two countries which are going to tilt the balance is going to be Japan and India. So this world जो आप एक बोल रहे थे ना, वैश्वीकरण है, भौगोलिकरण जो हो रहा था 1990 के दशक से, वो अभी खत्म हो चुकी है. 2 स्विफ्ट होंगे, 1 स्विफ्ट बाय रशिया और चाइना, 1 स्विफ्ट बाय अमेरिका. ये 2 यूएन भी हो सकती है. एक जापान में हो एक यूएन और एक न्यूयॉर्क में एक यूएन, ये भी हो सकती है. जैसे कि एक वर्ल्ड बैंक है, एक एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक, और द ब्रिक्स बैंक कैन स्टार्ट इन चाइना. सो देयर कुड बी कंप्लीट पोलराइजेशन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. हाँ, आप और मैं जा सकते हैं, कुछ ट्रेड वेड कर सकते हैं, बट politically we will be seen as part of one group or the other.
Yeah, because अभी देख रहे हैं कि रूबल एंड डॉलर जो चल ही रहा था, बट अब रूबल भी एक अपना वो लोग जो रशिया लेके आ रहा है. So
see, one thing is certain, जब यूक्रेन को रशिया ने इन्वेड किया था, पुतिन साहब ने, उनको इतना पता था कि वेस्ट सैंक्शन देगा, बिकॉज बैरस मिनिमम तो वेस्ट यही करता है, खेत जताता है, खंडन करता है, और उसके बाद सैंक्शंस करता है. ये 3 तो बैरस मिनिमम करेंगे. तो रशिया वेरी क्लियरली नोस व्हाट विल बी द स्टैंडर्ड रिएक्शन ऑफ अमेरिका. So Russia has thought through this game and it has prepared itself. And there is a book called Currency Wars. If you can, after this program is over, you will see the first chapter of this book where American think tanks have also played this some 15 years back. कि रशिया और चाइना मिलके they will sell dollars in the market for purchasing gold. How will America behave? इस पे बड़ी चर्चा अमेरिकन थिंक टैंक में हुई थी, और इसका ही एक किताब निकला था, करेंसी वॉर्स. और अमेरिका भी सोच चुका है कि एक दिन चाइना या पुतिन ये काम करेंगे. ओके, सो hopefully there will be some balancing somewhere. Hopefully there will be some shall I say senior elements talking to each other and trying to pull it back. But मेरे हिसाब से पुतिन का ये जन्म लक्ष्य है कि डॉलर का देहांत देखना चाहता है।
नहीं हाँ वो तो सही है सर, ये तो पुतिन की कॉल है, बट हमारे इंडिया के लिए काफी टफ रहेगा ये जो सिचुएशन है।
Yes, sir, ये we should have also thought through it, no? We are also not people who are fools.
करेक्ट।
Our leadership would have also thought through what will happen if Russia attacks Ukraine. And ये तो 15 साल से चल रहा है, क्रीमिया से, उसके बाद यूक्रेन से, सब चल रहा है. So we are also people who have understood this game. We must have also been prepared. That is why if you see, till date America wants us on its side. America says आप आ जाओ. But we have not condemned Russia at all. And we have quietly evacuated all our people from Ukraine. So we have a very clear policy which we have not yet played it out. That doesn't mean we don't have a policy. And it will take some time for us to adjust for the common man, for the new order. It is not going to be easy. जैसे कि आपका बच्चा शायद अमेरिका में पढ़ रहा है, मेरा भाई वहां काम कर रहा है, and there can be hundreds of such stories. The world will have to align. And interestingly, how will the Arab world also align? Arab world में भी ये problem है. How they are going to align? And Eastern Europe, Western Europe, yes, they can say so many things and they can get away with, say, Britain can get away with America. But what about, say, even Germany? Like Sandip was trying to say about this manufacturer of aspirins. Gas, or Russia, if it cuts the gas, then they will freeze down in winter.
That's true. But as far as concerned as of now, sir, I can see that India isn't been successful talking to everyone. So let's hope for the best. Like evacuation भी अगर देखा जाए तो successful रहा इंडिया के लिए. They have done it for the other countries also, and there was no harm on it.
And also sometimes not taking a position is a very good position.
Correct.
Okay, why should I play my cards out? जब आएगा देखा जाएगा ना. अभी हम बोलेंगे कि हाँ हम चाहते हैं शांति बने रहे, हम चाहते हैं कि वार्तालाप हो, हम चाहते हैं कि शांति की प्रतिक्रिया जारी रहे, ऐसी मदरहुड स्टेटमेंट देते रहे. In fact, you will be surprised. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you will be surprised in 1983 or 84. South Korean Airlines was coming from America to South Korea, and it crossed into USSR airspace. And it was alleged so, and Russia ने प्लेन को उड़ा दिया. वहां में 250 लोग थे उस प्लेन में, मर गए. ये 1983 की बात है. और अमेरिका ने बहुत चिल्लाया, साउथ कोरिया में बहुत हंगामा हुआ. रशिया ने बोला हाँ हमने मारा क्योंकि वो हमारे घर के अंदर आ गया तो मैंने उड़ा दिया. बहुत हंगामा हो रहे थे देश भर में, सारे दुनिया भर में. लेकिन इंडिया की बारी आई. इंडिया ने 2 दिन के बाद एक स्टेटमेंट दिया, वी होप द होल इंसिडेंट इज नॉट ट्रू. बस खत्म. So our position has always been to keep away. और 2 असुर की लड़ाई में कभी भी हस्तक्षेप करना उतना उचित नहीं है.
Sir, the best part which you told us that we can also assume, हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि सारे कंट्रीज इस समय दिल्ली विजिट कर रहे हैं. मतलब everybody want to sit in Delhi and to decide that what to do and whatever not to do. I can see the Mexico का भी शायद आज आया है, आज या कल में आने वाला है. मैक्सिको के भी आने वाले हैं. So
आज भी में कोई एक अतिथि आए हैं जिनको हैदराबाद हाउस में जयशंकर जी लेकर गए हैं. जी.
मैक्सिको रशिया से भी उनके विदेश मंत्री आए. So it's a good position of India. Let's how they are, like let's see कि कैसे प्ले करते हैं. But yes, it's a good to see that कि everybody is approaching us कि भाई हमारा ध्यान रखो. And wherever India will go, I think स्विफ्ट विल बी देयर. मतलब जिस तरफ इंडिया घूमेगा स्विफ्ट शायद उस तरफ होगा, ऐसा मैं एज्यूम कर पा रहा हूँ इस टाइम पे. मतलब ऐसा मैं सोच पा रहा हूँ. सो लेट्स सी.
इंडिया में क्रिएट अ न्यू स्विफ्ट.
या
इंडिया हैज गॉट द टेक्निकल प्रोग्रेस एंड द कैपेसिटी. अगर टीसीएस या इन्फोसिस को दे दो तो शायद 4 महीने में खड़ा कर देंगे. ऐसी कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. सो हमारे में क्षमता है, हम कर सकते हैं. हाँ, लेकिन हम अभी क्यों करें जब कोई कर रहा है तो उसी में चले. बट इफ पुश कम्स टू अ शव, I'm sure we will respond very positively.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, sir. I think we'll go through one more question, one last question, maybe. Uh, so, uh, I mean, what mindset change do you see? I mean, do you recommend for the Indian youth? I mean, who are trying to build their career, especially, I mean, whether it's in India or Indian origin people abroad. I mean, because this brain drain has always been a problem. So, how do you see that we should work out and people should consider staying back in India? And I mean, एक जो mindset में जो change आना चाहिए, वो किस तरह से आप देखते हैं, सर?
सर अभी आप किसको रोकोगे, क्यों रोकोगे? उसको अगर लगता है कि उसका एक ग्रीनर पैस्चर आउटसाइड ऑफ इंडिया है, and many of them go because of family reasons and some of them go for esoteric reasons that हमको इंडिया में opportunity नहीं है. Like for example, supposing you are a great physicist and you want to work in CERN, Switzerland, Geneva, I think you will go there. There's no harm. And just because you have gone there or working out of India, it doesn't make you less of an Indian. I think all our NRI brothers and sisters are equally patriotic, and no doubt. But two things that I would advise people, especially those who are abroad or those who are on the threshold of going abroad, try to learn one foreign language apart from English. English is definitely a foreign language, but it's more Indian than anything else. So try to learn French, Japan, Germany, German or Chinese or Spanish, any other foreign language that will put you in good stead. That's number one. And second is far more important. Your mother and your motherland will be waiting for you. Of course, you are gone at the pink of your health, the prime of your youth. Think about coming back at the earliest. After your personal commitments are over, try to come back. That's very important that you should come back to India and give something back to the country, which is an ancient civilization. Please understand, this is not a piece of geography. This is something more than geography. It is 3 or 4 dimensional in terms of even understanding this country. It's very difficult. Try to come back and give something best to the country. This is what I would say to my younger brothers and sisters.
जी सर. I think we can more or less close. संदीप, अगर आप अपना कोई प्रश्न रखना चाहें MRV सर से before we close.
Sure. So while MRV sir, you've said that Europe is a spent force. I am intrigued by the economical statistics that I see in UK. I've been telling this that after कटोरा खान की अपार सफलता के बाद कटोरा जॉनसन is in making. So with inflation rising to a 40 years high of 9% and माना ये जा रहा है कि 70% जो आबादी है जो मिनिमम वेजेस पे जी रही है, उनको सबसे ज़्यादा हिट मिलेगा क्योंकि जो बिल्स हैं वो लगभग जो मिनिमम वेजेस होती हैं यहाँ पे 18,000 पाउंड होती हैं और 3,000 पाउंड के करीब बिल्स आपके पहुँच चुके हैं. तो सर्वाइवल बहुत मुश्किल होगा इस तरीके से कि चूज़ करना कि क्या खाना है, क्या नहीं खाना है, क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. इट विल बी अ डिफिकल्ट चॉइस टू मेक. So, what are your views on?
Very simple. The point is very simple. The so-called global superpowers, उनको ऐसी की तैसी हो गई है, और Europe is the worst hit, and you will see more of bloodletting in Europe.
Right. The other thing, the other question I have is around Gazprom, right? कल या परसों इनके जो जर्मनी बेस्ड हेडक्वार्टर है वहाँ पे यूरोपियन यूनियन ने वो किया था. They had raided their headquarters and the point they were trying to investigate was कि गैसप्रॉम ने वॉर से पहले ही 5-6 महीने से एक आर्टिफिशियल शॉर्टेज क्रिएट कर रखी थी टू पुश द प्राइसेस अपवर्ड्स. And I'm sure our good friend will not like it, of course. So what are they really trying to achieve? I think it looks like they don't have answers to their own questions, and therefore they are hunting here and there. They are on a wild goose chase. What are your views on that?
See, the problem is many of parts of the world has not seen scarcity for the last so many years, decades. And the reaction is on predictable lines. And you will see more of these things to come in the next few months. Watch and अभी trailer शुरू है, main picture बाकी है.
No, I completely agree. The main picture is still pending. The other thing is, on the West, जो लेक्चर दे रहा है हमें कि मोरालिटी कहाँ है, मोरालिटी वेस्ट में है, ईस्ट में मोरालिटी नहीं है. तो हाउ कैन वन लेक्चर, जब आप जो है 26 मार्च के बाद अगर हम ऑयल इंपोर्ट देखें यूएसए का, तो रशिया से जो उनका ऑयल इंपोर्ट था ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, वो डबल होके 1 लाख बैरल पर डे हो गया है. सिमिलरली जब हम सैंक्शंस की बात करते हैं, जब लोग कहते हैं कि 2 ब्राइट इंडियंस, ऋषि सुनक और क्या नाम है उसका जो डेप्यूटी वो है एनएसए है अमेरिका से,
दलजीत सिंह या उसका नाम
दलबीर सिंह. सो दोनों ने बहुत अच्छे सैंक्शंस डिवाइस किए हैं, ये किया वो किया है, और उन्होंने उन सैंक्शंस में जो उनके मतलब की चीज़ थी यानी गैस और ऑयल, उसको हटा के बाकी सबको सैंक्शन कर दिया है, राइट. तो मतलब इट इज़ लाइक ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे कि वो सब इन दोनों को छोड़ के बाकी सब अपवित्र है, अछूत है, ये सब पवित्र है. तो व्हाट आर योर व्यूज ऑन दैट? मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि
संदीप जी, द पॉइंट इज द वेस्ट ऑलवेज क्रिएट्स यार्डस्टिक्स. सही गलत का मापदंड पाश्चात्य देशों से ही होता है. सो यू विल हैव टू क्रिएट मापदंड. जब तक आप मापदंड आप नहीं करोगे, किसी ने आपको रोका नहीं है, आप भी मापदंड करो. बोलो कि जो कोई ये करेगा, क्रिकेट नहीं खेलेगा तो वो एकदम सर्वनाश हो जाएगा. बोलो T20 IPL नहीं चलाएगा तो एकदम बेकार का देश है. बोलते रहो. You create your own ecosystem. You create your own way of dealing with yardsticks. The country which creates the yardstick survives as a global power. आप बोलो कबड्डी आप नहीं खेलोगे, कबड्डी को ओलंपिक में लाओ और देखो कि हम 2-4 गोल्ड मेडल लेकर आएंगे. आप जाकर हॉकी आपने एस्ट्रोटर्फ में खेलना शुरू किया, तब से आप एकदम नंबर 12 में चले गए. जब फील्ड में चल रहा था, ग्रास में चल रहा था, तो यू वर द विनर. You cannot play with the Germans in AstroTurf, with the Europeans in AstroTurf hockey. You bring back, grass courts. You will say we will win. So the किस पिच पे होगी, किस शर्त पे होगी, किस मापदंड में होगी खेल, वो आप निर्णय करो. And this is an opportunity. I am seeing that the world is now in a reset button. Reset button press करके वेट हो रही है, रीबूट हो रही है. तो आप अपना प्रोग्राम लोड कर दो, नहीं तो कोई और आकर लोड कर देगा और फिर बोलेगा रशियन सीखना पड़ेगा हमें. कर दो, हिंदी को कर दो.
In fact, we are seeing that push, sir. I mean, if you look at it, the Ayurved का even army में अभी I think कल मैं पढ़ रहा था कहीं पे. So even in armed forces, they are pushing for more of Ayurved, so that I mean it's a standard being set. Against it, as you said, it will be a benchmarking. तो वही है, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस. And I mean, unless if you want to implement certain things, you have to define your own yardsticks.
So I think I have to go back to the next session. I have one more client call at 10:15,
Yes, sir.
10:30. So I'll stop here. So thank you very much. It was pleasure talking to you guys. Any other day we'll have a detailed more chat.
Yeah, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
have
And,
2-3 questions more, but definitely next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
thank you so
very
much.
Thank
Sir.
you so
We'll
much,
join
sir.
on our space also sometime. And
Yeah, sure.
thank you so much. और सभी दर्शनों से अनुरोध है, आप प्लीज हमारे इस टीम न्यूज आवर स्पेस पे भी ज्वाइन करें, ट्विटर पे, और यूट्यूब के हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें. थैंक यू सो मच. जय हिंद. भारत माता की जय.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Jai Hind. Jai Shri Ram. Bharat Mata ki Jai.